5th of December, Media Center of Ukraine. My name is Svetlana Chepurenko, and now we will talk about women in the gender unbalanced professions and the free of charge training from a Reskilling Ukraine program. And I will introduce our participants: Anastasiia Morozova, Program Manager, Reskilling Ukraine; Iryna Movchan, Program Administrator, Reskilling Ukraine. On the line, we have Viktoriia Posieva, Communications Leader, Reskilling Ukraine, and also we have in studio Hanna Anishyna, Category C Truck Driver Project graduate student, and Anastasiia Dovbnia, CNC Operator, also a graduate student of this project. Greetings to all. So, Miss Viktoriia, let's start our conversation with you. So, our briefing, women in gender unbalanced professions. And unfortunately, due to different factors, probably partially because due to activism of women themselves and partially due to war, these gender unbalanced factors are unfortunately forcefully, under the circumstances, are being balanced in favor of women. But at the same time, there are more chances for self-realization. So in your thought, in your opinion, how the market for women look in Ukraine? Those women who before did not have much access to some professions now help to balance up and to strengthen our economy. Thank you. Greeting to everyone. When we start conversation about women in gender unbalanced professions or professions where traditionally male prevail, we need to get back a bit in time to 2017. In 2017, it's hard to believe, but before December 2017, at the legislation level, Ukrainian women were forbidden approximately to get involved in 400 professions, from large gabarit truck, being a driver of large trucks, some marine profession, and metallurgy. And after the changes have been adopted at the legislation level, and after the full-scale invasion, this became focus of our attention of our project. And we work since 2024. The project Reskilling Ukraine works since 2024, and we provide opportunity to women who previously, due to stereotypes, some bias, some barriers, could not get access to the profession about which they were dreaming since childhood. And now we are sponsored by Sweden unprofitable organization Bialatska Sweden, and so thanks to our sponsors, we receive more tools and opportunities for civil society to overcome crisis. And our first project was truck driver of category C truck driver. As of December 2025, we have over 1,000 of graduates who underwent training at our program, who work in their new profession. Interestingly, women who are coming to acquire a new profession, the average age is 42 years old, the average age of our graduates. And these are women who had other professions before they went for requalification. And we even see in our projects women after 50 years old and after 55 years old decide to change their profession. What is also important is that a requalification and thoughts that a person needs a new profession, a new job. These thoughts emerge in some difficult situations. That's why we have about 40% of our trainees are internally displaced persons, women or partners of military servicemen, including veterans, including single mothers. And it's very important because besides these means engaging in the economic process, in the rebuilding and enhancing the economy of Ukraine. This also has a positive effect on personal development. In our work, what is important in our work is cooperation with partners, with employers, with those companies who are open and ready to involve women in their teams. It's very important because one thing is to work with according to expectations, with ingrained expectations, because the professions which we teach, they're not easy for women, and there could be other factors at play, including such factors that are more associated with employers. For us, it's important to build bridges between women who acquire these new professions and employers who also mostly don't know how to build working processes correctly. That's why we try to unite these two worlds, and now currently we have over 170 partners, starting from big companies and also including small and medium businesses. This is important when we talk about inclusion of women into gender imbalanced professions, because it's not about current time, but we also working for the future, because this does not pushing out some category out of profession. This is about expansion of more opportunities for Ukraine. Miss Viktoriia, out of 1,000 graduates, how many selected actually profession based on the training? Currently, we have over 30% of our graduates. They're employed and work according to their newly acquired profession, from CNC operators, truck drivers, and some other technician professions. And it signifies readiness of women to practically to work actually in these professions, and also readiness of companies who are ready to employ women in these professions. So yes, that's about 30% as of today. What are the directions of your project, and what kind of direction for your training? We have two large segments in our women training. One is training of drivers of different categories, and in that direction we have C category truck driver and passenger bus D category driver, and upskilling course for those who already have experience with CE. It's transportation of hazardous cargo category. When we're talking about manufacturing professions, we had this year profession as a forklift operator, CNC operator, mechanic operator. We also implement together with the partner, we implement excavator of a front load operator. So these are so many professions which I'm sure neither me nor you have not seen with face to face such women in such professions. But we want to expand on such categories of professions. And now I'm sure my colleagues will tell you more. Thank you, Viktoriia, very much. Now let's talk with the first graduate of this project, Miss Hanna, who received experience in training in category C truck driver and works in this line of work. So Miss Hanna, please tell us why you selected this profession, this training, what attracted you in these courses, how the training went, and what was unexpected maybe in this training, and what was the most difficult. Please, the floor is yours. Yes, good day. My name is Anna. I have 20 years experience of HR and IT. And yes, currently I worked as a category C truck driver. All is correct. So I was attracted to machines, to cars since childhood. We did not have car in the family, and the car, machine was different, like a mystery. I couldn't understand how you can drive this this ship. Unfortunately, before the war, I got exhausted in my previous profession, depleted in my previous profession. And so several factors just came together. And I saw that there was opportunity, and it was my dream from childhood to be a category C truck driver. And then my friend just sent me a link to this training, and one of the graduates actually was transporting firefighting machines, cars from Poland, and it so inspired me that I applied to the reskilling course, and I liked the course very much. First of all, it was very unusual. I did not know how the training will go, and so I actually stepped into a big unknown for me. I did not know how the training will unfold, and I'm sure I can tell you that my expectations have been exceeded. We have had absolutely amazing instructors, and we had trained in a great car driving school, Omega, with great cars, mechanic with a mechanic transmission. But I acquired the experience exactly what I needed, which I am using now, because I currently drive a car with mechanic transition and transmission, and I liked really all the participants in the course because they were all women who, for me, they were single-minded people, because such profession as traditionally man-fitted, but women came to acquire skills of such profession who have this bravery, because you need to have bravery as a woman to want to work in this profession. And so but the training went really quickly. Now, when I recall on that experience, it feels as if it was yesterday. So 25th of November, it has been 1 year. It was 1 year since I actually received this category, this certificate in this category. And I passed the test from first time, and I couldn't believe on the day when I was granted the certificate. I believed on the next day that my dream actually was fulfilled. And it's very important, but first stage. Because the second stage was actually to get real work in this profession. Of course, I did not have such experience. This is a very specific profession. I did not know anything about it before. I did not know any details. I only knew that I had to come to the interview and to explain somehow why I want to sit behind the wheel of this truck. The only thing I can say that when it comes easy to you, it means that you're fit for that. And I came to the company. By the way, it was Anastasiia who recommended the employer, and I so much depleted from my previous activity. I just couldn't even design my resume, compile a resume. I just called that company and applied, and I can say that the company decided to try with me, to trust. And it also speaks about the bravery of my employer, who said, okay, let's try. Maybe we don't know what will come out of it. Maybe it will not work out, but maybe it will work. And I came for 3 weeks of apprenticeship in this company. I changed several cars, Hyundai, Isuzu. We went to some warehouses. I learned some skills and details in this profession. And in 3 weeks, they said, okay, you are ready. Just take yourself a truck, and drive it yourself. Otherwise, you will never be ready. And actually, in March of this year, I started the career of category C truck driver. And I can tell you that it was very unusual for all males working team, but nobody said anything, and they only observed, and probably because of that I tried really hard to do everything right, and now I receive only compliments is that sometimes I park even better than men, but I really applied myself wanting to do everything right, and little by little I felt I felt I was capable to select more difficult routes. Now I have 2-3 routes per day. Currently, 2-3 shuttles like per day. Now I have different destinations: Chernigiv, Zhytomyr, Yahatim, Pereyaslav. And my comments from my acquaintances, they say that they have never seen me more happy before in my life. I absolutely enjoy this work. I listen to music. I know this is unusual. Maybe it looks unusual for somebody, but this is some absolute joy when you drive on the roads of our absolutely amazing country in autumn, in summer, all beauty is around you, and you're listening music and you're doing your job. This is absolutely a pleasure. Thank you for sharing this experience. Miss Anastasiia, please tell us more about this training, how long they take, what's duration, how many participants in one course participated, how many courses you already have held. So speaking about the graduations, it seems a lot, but we want more because we want to provide to a greater number of women opportunity to change their profession, to acquire new skills. Currently, in driver course, in terms of driver course, I would split this direction into 2 programs. So we have basic programs for category C driver. That's the truck over 7 tons, and bus driver with passenger seats exceeding 16. This is our basic level. So when our participants, when our trainees have 3 years of B category driver, they feel more confident. They understand that the travels in the city, between the city, even between countries, because we now have a demand for between country travel, and after 3 years of such experience, they feel that they need to upgrade this skill, and they can use this skill for employment. Not all participants, not all our graduates employ later as drivers working for some companies. We have our graduates who use their skills in their own business. We have volunteers who use the skills acquired in our program for their volunteer activities. So these are the 2 basic programs, and we now carry out training in 2 cities, Kyiv and Kremensk, Ternopil Oblast. We have several modules. First module, after a person submitted application, she goes through interview with our enrollment department, because for us, it's important for the person to have motivation, who understands why she needs this profession, so that not to overestimate. From our side, we also require the mechanic transmission. We have in our fleet automatic transmission cars, but the fleet itself, unfortunately, Ukrainian companies, most Ukrainian transport companies not always have automated transmissions. So the main requirements is B category, 3 years of experience. After that, getting approval, getting through the interview, After that, we invite to theory module. At the theory module, all participants, all trainees upgrade their traffic rules knowledge. And this year we also added our online platform, which allows, which supports self-study and training for tests, maybe catching up with some topics. So theory goes online. Why we are doing this? Because all the drivers who get employed, they in one or another way face the circumstances that the employee requires from them also to pass those tests. Secondly, when service center, when the certified center also takes tests, also can ask some questions like why you decided this or that decision during this or that road circumstance. And so the driver must be very confident in theory knowledge. And so during 3 weeks, and we train them in that. And I should tell you that with pride, that our trainees, they always pass with flying colors, like the best score this test from the employer or the certification center. After that, we have practice and test them internally. So how do you participate with, how do you cooperate with employers, and how you manage to persuade them that women could be equal to the men in this profession, that a woman can be equal in this profession? It's 100%, I'm sure about that. We had colleagues who, at the stage of the launch of our project, they were searching for such employers, and they were in charge of communication with potential employers. Of course, not employers are ready to hire women in these professions, but we understand the situation. There are employers who always agreed and who supported this initiative. In order to get familiar more with the profession, because participants could be from different professions with different background and experience and past experience. And we visited these employees who preliminarily agreed, so we came to their production site to familiarize. And they showed us, this is garage, this is where mechanic works, this is a medical examination, here you will sleep, and this is our fleet, and you can drive here, try your skills. So, for example, our fleet includes mechanical transmission, but some parks, some fleets include automatic transmission. And so our team communicated in this way. Our team communicated with employers, and we're very grateful to employers who allowed us to see with our eyes this process. Because when our trainees come to the employer, she is prepared, and this is minimum consulting on our part, minimum career consulting, because this allows a person who will work, who is preparing to work in this company, she better understands what meets her experiences, what skills she already has for future job, and where she needs to skill up. Thank you, Miss Anastasiia. And we have another Anastasiia today, who is a graduate, CNC Operator graduate. And please tell us what brought you to these courses and what previous experience you had. In fact, I several years work at metallurgy process, and I co-owner with my father of agrarian parts production, in particular cutting parts production for agricultural sector. And I decided it was my conscious choice to stay in Ukraine and to develop production. And I really I realized that I lack some skills and some production mentality, production mindset, and I decided that I needed to upskill myself in order to be able to develop our business. And and so some lack of knowledge, I felt it for some time, and so I had two choices, whether to go to some higher education facility, like for some evening studies. But but as we know, this knowledge that higher educational facilities give you, they're not always practical. Plus, it requires time, and we don't have much time because everything develops very quickly, and you must be ready to get involved, and you must be ready to develop as quickly as technology is developing. And so when I noticed that there are some professional education courses, when I saw it, I felt happiness that about that there are such opportunities which you can attend and you can upgrade your qualification. Because and when I met this initiative, Reskilling Ukraine, I'm just impressed, really. This is this demonstrates, manifests so much faith in the potential, in the growth, and in the potential of people, especially during full wartime. It's very important. And thanks to Reskilling, I got into the course of CNC Operator, that's computer numerical control operator. So that's operator who operates devices, mechanical devices with a computer program. So the purpose for me was to understand how I can expand our production, how to optimize time, how to involve people, how to train people correctly, and what equipment will help me to produce better quality products. And out of all options, I really liked this option the most because it fit my profession, and of course I worried because it was very difficult for me to prove my motivation, how it's important for me, and how I'm excited about this opportunity to study, to acquire new skills. And I graduated almost 1 month and a half. And the training was very intense, very complex, very overarching, and the knowledge was relevant, full, and it's important that this knowledge, that the instructors are those who are actually doing themselves, who are practicing themselves what they're teaching. The equipment is all modern, it's American equipment, so it prepares you to what you will be actually doing, to a real life. And I was impressed and pleasantly impressed because there were many women. I was impressed by the fact that many women come to this profession, and like Hanna said, what unites us women who come into such professions, the bravery and the challenge that we take, because of course there is some gender issue. Not everyone accepts this, but this is a desire to learn anew and to change, the readiness to change. I'm sure that this world is driven by people who are not afraid of changes. They're not afraid to go into discomfort, into some fear and something new, and they change this world. And the course also adjusted for women. It's great that the courses are adjusted, tailored specifically for women in technical professions. And this issue is very relevant because we have war. Many men are called into duty, to military service. And I think that employers are also starting to look at women because they lack the people force, and so they looking for women. And when we come to a new profession, and when we prove ourselves that we are not worth men, it's all about bias, and we need. Women are trying more hard than men because we're trying to perform better. When colleagues come and and when you're not afraid to ask questions, when you're not afraid to actually practically do what you've learned, then everything comes together. It's very interesting that you have co-joined business with your father. So what was your father's reaction to your choice? I think that my father believes a lot in me, and he wanted for his business to continue because he invested a lot of his efforts in this business, and he is also a pioneer in this business. Yes, he has some professional education. He has worked in agrarian, agricultural sector, in agricultural field for a long time, but this building machinery, it's a new direction, and he invested a lot in this, and he wanted for somebody to develop to continue this business. And for me, it's important to understand there is a meaning behind the profession. It's important for me to understand that I'm doing something useful for people. Otherwise, there is no motivation. So to work in an agricultural production complex, for me, it's an important mission. And I don't need to look for inspiration. Just understanding how important what we're doing is inspiring in itself. And I also like working with metal. I'm very interested in all process with metal processing, and as I even have some aesthetic satisfaction. It's like it's the feel you're in the right place. And I have not always worked with this field. Before that I worked in restaurant, and I disappointed in that profession. I realized that I need to move forward, and it was important for me to find something meaningful. And when father received such a request, because I asked my father to join him and to ask him to get involved in this business together, and he actually received it positively. Thank you, Ms. Anastasiia, for sharing your experience. Ms. Iryna, please tell us more about production courses which exist in Reskilling Ukraine, how many graduation programs you already had and what you train, and how to enroll. Good day, my name is Iryna, and I am Program Administrator of Free Train Industrials. These are training courses for women in production field. These are the courses which help women to quickly get hands-on profession and to find profession in manufacturing field. This year, Track Industrials implemented, I think, great number of training courses, and we are proud to say this. We trained people in professions which previously it was difficult to picture a woman in this profession. And as an example, I would start to say about Iron Woman course. This is a course for women who want to become front load driver or excavator driver. This sounds really difficult, but this course proves that a woman can get really skills to operate this large equipment. And after the graduation, I communicated with our graduates, and I saw in their eyes the belief, the confidence in themselves, and the pride that they manage actually to acquire these skills. It's very difficult because the training lasts 6 months, 6 weeks. 3 weeks they have online training, and then the rest 3 weeks they have very intense practice. Monday, Saturday, on the basis of our partner, Volvo. And this is very difficult, morally and physically demanding process, but the result worth it. And we are proud with this course, and we honestly hope that we will continue this course next year. Also, one of the successful courses successful and quick courses which we implemented this year. We graduated 5 groups of forklift operator. It's a quick course which allows to quickly acquire a new profession and to start actually looking for real work. The course lasts so 1 week of online training and one week of practical training. So total 2 weeks in total. The practicals takes place in Kiev, and everything is training, accommodation for during training is provided free of charge. And it's also important because sometimes women sometimes need some support, because it's difficult to believe in yourself, but sometimes you also need some financial cushion and support to start a new profession. This course is also very successful. It started in July of this year, and we already have our employed graduates, successfully employed. And after the completion of the course, the participants, the trainees, start looking for work either in the middle of the course or after the graduation. After they receive certificates, they apply to employers, and even next week after the completion of the course, so many of them find work next week after the graduation, and this is really great motivational factor. Next course I'd like to tell you about is auto mechanic. We graduated 4 courses, and now we carry out upgrading qualification course in electronic equipment, and we hope to develop this course next year in this direction. And also today with me is our graduation student, CNC Operator. The course we implemented in September, October of this year. It was a pilot course, but very successful, because we also have a high percentage of employed graduates of this course, and we think this is also indicator of success in our project. And I also would like to tell you about the course which was also implemented, the course for women by mounter of solar panels and installer, solar panels installer. The course was held in Vinnytsia, and it's also a very interesting course, and we hope to have it next year. And now about our plans for the next year. We have pilot courses in the first quarter of 2026 that will include 4 courses, 2 of which already available on our website. We are running, they are open for enrollment, so please look up, fill out the application form, spread this information. And the first course I want to tell you is a welder course. This course aims at requalification of women into quite demanded, quite popular profession of welder, which previously thought to be primary male-dominated, but we want to change this perception, and we already receive applications from women who want to try themselves in this field. And I should tell you that the training will take place in Kiev. The training will start in February, and it will continue for 4 weeks. So the welder operator course will run for 4 weeks. By the end of the training, there is a test to get qualification. So the training quite serious. It requires time and motivation for us. It's very important to find those women who are motivated and who want to change the field of their activity, who want after the course to get employed in this profession, who lack knowledge, skills in this profession, and we honestly hope that we will receive the group of our trainees with a group of strongly motivated women. Do I understand correctly that all women from entire Ukraine could apply and they will have support with accommodation during training? Yes, absolutely correct. We provide accommodation, food, meals during training, sometimes transportation costs. It's all covered by the program. And how do you form a direction for courses? Is it initiated based on some request from employers, or you analyze the market? So these courses which you design, how do you come with the ideas? I think that so we study the market. We base our courses on the market demand, the professions which require specialists. But this is the question which our other colleagues, they are engaged in this process of studies, analysis. Yes, this requires some time because there are fields which previously have not been open to women, and we want to change this and to make them available for women. And so, yes, we need to carry out market analysis. And how do you select instructors? Are there some selection process for instructors so that probably so that women don't feel some sexism or undervalue? So who are these instructors? As far as I know, we carry out interview with all our partners and online trainings on communication because, yes, it requires certain preparation on the part of instructors as well. And as far as I know, this work is being done. Again, I'm not directly engaged in this work. Swedish government and Sweden is the country who very responsibly treats all genders, male and women, and they pay a great deal of attention to all details. Thank you, Ms. Iryna. And Ms. Anastasiia, I also would like to ask you about plans for the next year. Do you plan to expand the large gabarit truck driver courses? Maybe you plan to expand number of partners. What are your plans? We plan to maintain the pace which we took in 2025, because 2025 was the plan when we reached our high potential. And this year, we already opened CE drivers, that's a truck with a trailer, and all these trucks which we see in the international transportation. So this year we graduated almost 18 groups in this program, truck drivers of different categories. And next year we also plan to continue the courses of hazardous load transportation category. This category provides opportunity for the participants, for our graduates who already graduated from our courses and already have some experience. This is an upgrade because this is even more responsibility, so more salary because it's more responsibility. And we always try to support this growth upgrade from small B category, even if it's just delivery, then CE, to provide upgrade. some additional directions. We don't plan some additional directions for drivers, but we plan to maintain this level and the number of courses that we achieved this year. What can you say about demand? Does demand exceed expectations, your capacity? The demand for training, the applications, we have enough applications. We always pay attention to motivation of a potential candidate. We also pay attention to some possibility and how adequate a person perceives, feels behind the wheel, because large long road, big truck, and big responsibility. Plus, we have practical modules during which the participant, the trainee, can decide for herself whether it's actually, whether this is really for her. At practical exercise, we have additional small test for mechanics knowledge, and we also have the first familiarization knowledge in the closed territory, autodrome, auto training ground, closed off, fenced off territory, where the participants could feel the car, feel the gabarites, feel the size of the car, and take the final decision. And this is the time when the trainee has the opportunity actually to make final decision and maybe to refuse from proceeding with the training. Plus, we have additional programs like a tachograph training. Tachograph controls the relaxation time, the time off the driving. For Ukraine, unfortunately, it's not very common in Ukraine, but according to standard, it's very important that the driver takes the off time and rests. Also, we have first aid medical training, and these trainings are also different dependent on the category and on the program, starting from critical hemorrhage and some basic aid of life-saving techniques. And we are currently focused on the quality of our programs, and we want to make our courses even more deeper professional, so that our graduates are even more prepared and more confident. So no, 100%. Thank you, Anastasiia. At least from what I see from two graduates whom we met today, I'm sure they're 100% confident. Thank you for these courses, which are really important today. And for Ukraine, I remind you, we were talking about women in gender-imbalanced professions from the project Reskilling Ukraine, and the Media Center Ukraine team works for the next meetings. Please stay with us.